crashing out because that's so bad. Hi guys, I know it has been a super long time since I posted. I believe it was like probably last Hobonichi and one other video from last year around the same time as this. Again, it's a running joke on my channel. I feel like that I only come back when I spend a lot of money or when I am going to spend a lot of money. And I just have a hyperfixation and I just need to talk about it. And I was honestly debating whether or not to just do like a video series, a reel series on Instagram, or if I should just do like a slide carousel post on Instagram. And I was like, you know what, let's just do a long form video, post it on YouTube. And just like, there's a bigger Hobonichi community on here, I feel like, so I'm just curious to know, like find other people and like inform other people about this on here. A lot of the information I know is also from YouTube, so I want to just keep informing and adding to that conversation onto here. I'll try to include like B-roll on the side of what I'm referring to, and I don't think I'm gonna be able to record everything I'm working on. Let's get into it. I do have a drink with me. I have a sweet lavender matcha that I made at home. Disclaimer, I guess first, I am gonna be more negative towards Hobonichi and towards the situation overall. And if you are a big Hobonichi stan, I'm gonna hurt your feeling in this video. I'm gonna hurt a bunch of feelings in this video. I'm gonna ruffle a few feathers, I feel like. And I know it's just planners and I'm being dramatic and we're all being dramatic sometimes. But I feel like there are some people who are just hardcore stans, and I don't think we have that in this community per se. But like, you just never know. People get sensitive about things. I know Hobonichi is a big sentimental deal to a lot of people. I am not for you. This content is not for you then, I'm sorry. I'm here to like critique every little thing that I find annoying and gross about Hobonichi that I've been realizing a lot recently, and also last year. I made a whole video about Hobonichi that's like an hour and 40 minutes long. Go watch that if you want to see like my unboxing, my techokaigi, and just my thoughts on Hobonichi overall and what moves they have made last year that I thought was very interesting from a business perspective. Even though I don't have a business degree, as a consumer, I was like, that was a choice. And they're doing a lot of special choices this year as well. And I just want to talk about it. A lot of people are talking about it, and I'm happy that's more of a conversation now about the tariffs and the de minimis exemption being removed, because just a couple weeks ago I feel like nobody was talking about it, and now everybody's talking about it. So I'm happy that it's more like known in the community now, and people are actually like being cautious with their orders and where they're purchasing from. Posted a video about the de minimis exemption being removed pretty early on this month of August. Maybe even like, maybe July, I feel like. I don't know. Time is like concept now, lost in my brain. But I did post about that to give more awareness to it. If you do want like more info about that, check out that video. Not just for Hobonichi, but also like just overall when you buy stuff out in the universe from anywhere else, from other websites as well. Alrighties, disclaimer out of the way, let's jump into it. To kind of give you a quick rundown of what I was feeling last year, a lot of it was mostly about the prices of things. The one piece cover quite literally went from 40 bucks, maybe even like 38 bucks, to $50 by the time I ordered it at the beginning of October. And that already threw me off. But I didn't know a lot of other stuff until this year when I watched Tiny Tiger Co.'s video. I know she's popping off. She's like that girl right now in the Hobonichi community. Her video is amazing, and she really informed me a lot of other stuff that I did not hear about, like the whole robo scalpers, how prices changed for everything as immediately after like the September 1st release, how obviously things were out of stock, quote unquote. Things came back in stock, and people who actually waited and didn't like panic buy at first, people who just waited and came back later a couple of days, they were hit with more higher prices all of a sudden. And I didn't know that, and I was like, so it wasn't just like one piece and having it a month of time to like change prices. It was quite literally immediately. Her video honestly made me mad. That's not her intent, obviously, but I was just like, she reminds me of all these shady things, and it makes me more and more mad, especially like the whole Hobonichi didn't side with their customers on the quality of the paper, and they were basically like, our production said it's good, so that means you guys are wrong. And that pissed me off. Oh girl. So I'm the kind of person who is like, if I don't like a business, I'm not gonna support them. And I actually have stuck to that. So for example, Amazon, McDonald's, and Target. I have not bought from Amazon in maybe almost 2 years now. Haven't gone to McDonald's in possibly 2 years either. Only for the one time when I was in Japan. Trying to justify in my head because it's like slightly different, right? And you know, McDonald's is a really big thing in Japan. I digress. That's like my only one rule break. And then Target, obviously like DEI and stuff. But even before that, I didn't go because like Target is really unnecessary. It makes you fall for the overconsumption and like everything is cute so I have to buy it trap, and obviously it's like a higher markup, and I really am upset at the brands. Kinda, it's not really their fault because obviously they don't have a hand in like where Target's ethics want to stand, right? But it does suck for the brands who were in Target and then suddenly got hit with this, and they'll most likely have less sales because of what Target has done. But also I kind of like side-eye the brands who decided to go into Target because I'm like, you know that they already said their piece and you're still going into their business, into their building. So take all those feelings, and like now I'm getting the same thing with Hobonichi and I don't want to buy them from them directly. I will talk later though about how I might do one order from Hobonichi themselves because my friend wants something that's only available from them, and same thing with me. I only want something that's available only from them as of right now. I feel like Hobonichi is kind of going to that whole capitalistic corporate thing, and you always try to be rational, but like it's a corporation, of course they care about money. I understand, especially in our economy with tariffs and stuff. I understand. Like, so when they did their first email about moving shipping, I was like, okay, it's gonna suck. Obviously if it's like $20 to $50, it's gonna suck, but like that's what you have to do. But then they released the email about how covers are only sold with the techos, and then I was like, I already wasn't gonna buy from them because they changed their shipping. That's the main reason why I bought from them. But now like you're basically forcing people to buy techos to have covers. It's either gonna be a whole spiraling of people just buying the bundles, the sets basically, and just selling the techos, or people are gonna not buy from them at all. Like, I can see it going both ways. I think it's good because it prevents you from overbuying and actually being wise with their decisions. But then we have those who say like want a just graph notebook to do a bullet journal kind of situation, but they still want to cover from this year. Are you gonna limit them from doing that? That sounds kind of unfair because that's what I was kind of thinking about doing this year. Either doing like what I did in 2024 with the graph paper and like bullet journaling, doing my own spreads, or I might go with an Avec until I found other options later on, but I will discuss that later in the video. This is before we knew whether or not the partner stores in America would sell them as bundles or sell them as separate. But again, I'll get to that later. Keep going in chronological order. As we were looking at the lineups, I am disappointed this year. I understand that's a very dramatic, emotional thing to say, right? Obviously we all have different opinions in art, but it's just not like the lineup from last year. Quantity wise, we don't have as many collections, and then just kind of like sprinkle it throughout other times. Like, we probably will have another release soon that's just in like the later days this week. But for like the actual big lineup, we had like 13 things compared to last year. We had like 15 things. It's dispersing its information more evenly throughout the month, which is good. But for actual like big lineup section, it was 13 things, and even of those 13 things, it was like one day was stationary things and one day was drawer pouches, like storage things. So really it's only 11 collections shown, and so I was very disappointed in that sense. I was like, one, you wasted a couple days when you could have put the drawer pouches with the storage day, and then you want to show stationery when you could have showed it on the stationery day. Like, you know, I understand it's like a bigger deal to them, but like this is how I kind of feel. That's kind of like weird. I'm doing a lot of hand gestures today. A lot of artists that are new, which is good. You want to have a good revolving door of artists. I was hoping like Insoda will come back this year. I really liked their stuff last year. Just not the exact vibes I need. If they like kept going with Insoda, I'm sure they would eventually hit on a collection that really resonated with me. Same thing with One Piece and such. I'll get to One Piece later, god. There's this other artist this year where like one does really hit with me and clearly hits with a bunch of other people. And then there's other collections where I'm like, or most collections where I'm like, someone on the Hobonichi team has very different tastes from what I do, and obviously that's what makes the world go around. We all have different tastes, and that's what makes it beautiful in the world. But I was just like, that's a choice. That's an interesting choice. And then I watch people who be like, I do love those options. I do love this style. I love it when it looks like this, and it gives like this kind of vibe. And I'm like, okay, this is meant for you. I'm so happy for you. But for me, I'm like, it's not as fun. And I understand, like, that's the nice thing about Hobonichi, right? Every year, it's something new, it's something exciting. And there's always gonna be, like, dud years. So it's just unfortunate. But I guess it's also, when you combine, like, those negative feelings of Hobonichi as a corporation and how they conduct themselves now, plus the, in my opinion, lackluster lineup, then you kind of feel... you just feel awful. You feel negative about it. I also think it's lackluster this year because they were focusing so much on the app and the production of that. A bunch of other stuff around it. That's why I assume they didn't get as much time to put towards everything else. The same thing with the app. There's good things and bad things about it. We have the... it's nice for a digital option, especially if you can't keep buying from Hobonichi themselves, but you still want the same lineup. So in that sense, I can see it being very useful. I believe it said there's gonna be a subscription to like get more premium functions, right? Like the photos and printing them out in the right size or whatever. You're gonna need like a physical book if you can print out pictures and paste it anywhere, I guess. I don't know. That's a good thing. It's gonna help people like not have to buy most likely as much, right? You would assume. And then we have the negative side of like, we are a culture of people who want to physically, right, have physical things, have something that actually keeps and holds our lives in physical form. And so I feel like it's kind of like a different, it kind of conflicts what you would think their stance is as the ethos basically as a company. But then you could argue like your phone is also a physical thing that you log in. We are in the digital age of like everything being digital and such. So I can see it both ways. Another thing that's disappointing about the lineup is the lack of stationary items and horns. I didn't realize as much as the horns because I don't really buy them, but someone did comment about that and I was like, that's true. There is no horns. There's some collections that do have the full lineup, like the pencil boards, the stationery, all the covers, all the things, that. And then we have collections that only have like one or two things and I'm like, there's clearly a lot more love and effort in one side than the other side. So I was like, okay. And in the pencil board thing, I was like, there's no one-piece pencil boards. There's no pencil boards for this, which I think have been really cool. We're gonna go line up. I'm not gonna talk about the ones that I do not care about because I will have nothing nice to say. I'm gonna hurt some people's feelings. Again, you can probably predict what I'm talking about based on what I skipped. But I will give you some scathing thoughts on topics that I feel passionate about that I actually wish had happened instead of this and that. Oh, actually, let me give you a quick idea of what I want and have in mind setup wise. For my main planner, and these might change around obviously, I'm gonna try to condense things because I think I have too many things on my mind, and obviously try to save as much money. You can try to condense it, especially if you have a really good planner setup and you have a lot of room for it, you want to maximize it. A5, and I'm thinking about other options for A5. I was thinking about the Avec, but I have something else in mind. I'll talk about that later. I was thinking about the graph paper, but again, stuff might happen with school. I want to keep things as simple as possible. I do like the layout of the Hobonichi like cousin, so I don't mind doing it again for another year. I like the Avec. I've considered doing the year because I didn't actually like switching between books middle of the year. It kind of felt like I was being displaced, honestly. I think the Avec is just the most convenient for me because I like how thin it is. I always go back to that. I want to be as portable as possible and not have as much bulk. I ended up not using my A5 this year because it was my Japanese planner. I really did use it in Japan. I stayed consistent with it in Japan, surprisingly. It's up until like the end of March when I was actually like traveling around. Since then, I have not used it, and I'm just gonna keep it as like more for my notes when I'm studying Japanese again. So I'm not gonna get an A5. I'm actually gonna be firm on that because I already saw like how I'm wasting it this year. I'm not gonna do it no matter how cute the One Piece A6 is gonna be or whatever Hon is out there. Or yeah, whatever A6 is out there. I do like my weeks. I think I can get like 10 of these and be so happy with the rest of my life, to be honest. With weeks, I considered honestly if I didn't like any of the weeks they had this year, that I would buy one from like previous years and just relabel it because I really like the weeks format. This is my budget log, my budget journal. And it has done me really well. It does feel repetitive and I have to about like changing it and not doing as much with it, but I do like the setup I have right now. I'm a very visual person, so it really helps me. So I have the months where I clearly see at a full month's glance like my no spend days and what I spend on each day. It really helps visually. And in the weeks, this is kind of where I feel like it gets repetitive throughout, where I keep writing the same numbers over and over again, and I'm like, do I really have to do that? But I do like this because it helps like really plan and visually see in time like important things like bills, my wish list of what I want or what I need. Just like keeps more accountable as well, and like the actual span of the week of like I got my money this day, I had this day and this day to spend, and that's it. Like it helps me like keep things in mind basically, especially when I have like a lot of bills. I don't usually have a lot of bills, but when I did have a lot of bills, especially in July with like my car, that really helped me out to have like a week by week of like I need to pay this because the due date is this day. And then the back pages are usually like where I have a running list of all transactions going in and out of my debit card or credit card, and then like actually calculating, balancing out everything. It still stays consistent as like what I've told or what I talked about in my last video. And I like it that I have like actual breakdowns of like my debit card and my credit card in terms of purchases and like draws, and then like reflecting on my goals, my daily average, stuff like that. I really have grown to like and use this. I am gonna keep this in a normal week size, not a mega. And then other options I was considering and thinking about was maybe a week's for school, but I have decided if I do get the A5 I'm thinking about, I'm going to move that into my A5 planner. I was thinking about doing it separate in a week because I don't know how busy I'm going to get with school. I'm not going to use it for like actual note taking, but just like recording all my lessons and like keeping track of timelines and deadlines and stuff like that and exams. I do keep a food log now. It helps me keep like track of all my meals and what I'm eating throughout the week. And like I mark off whatever I finish eating so I know what to like either buy or like I finished, so I don't waste stuff in the fridge. And it's helped me a lot. I started this in Japan actually, just to make sure I keep myself accountable, and especially if I'm like starving and I'm like I don't have anything to eat, but then I'm like I look at my list, I'm like, oh, I have tuna canned tuna, I can just make like a sandwich or like a rice bowl or something. So it's really useful. I've grown to like it, and I'm almost, by the time like exactly I finished this notebook I got in Japan from like Daiso, and I put it into like a clear cover that I got from the Imperial Palace in Japan, by the time I actually finish this, it's gonna be like literally it's gonna be exactly the week that 2026 starts in January. So definitely get a weeks for that. I think the food will really fill up these pages because one, I will use the weeks to like every weekly thing, and the back pages I can use for like recipes and actually logging what I like and what I don't like. I think the months I can use, I don't know what for to be honest, but I think I've used like the yearly overview, the index, to like log the days I went to eat at restaurants and get like an overall view of how much I ate out that year. Another week's I am considering is a media log. I did use a 6 in 2024, and I do miss having the end result. I do media log in my A5 because I have the room for it, but I still could do that, but because I don't know what's going to go on with school, I might have a lot of thoughts in my mind. Some days I do have a lot of thoughts today and don't, so my days are usually like this in terms of thoughts, and then I have my media log right here on the side. But obviously it's not that much notes, so I could just leave everything in my A5 and have it like clutter up, but I just really don't want to risk it. And I do like having the visuals, like I like having the visual of colors and seeing the actual span of time of the how long I've been reading this book or watching this anime that I would do in like the yearly index, or like the Cal index is what people usually call it. Let me see. I like having this actual visual of what I'm reading, and I also like having my months where I like write down all my chapters and have a visual throughout here of how long it took me to read and the days it took, and maybe I skipped the day because I was busy or something. It keeps me consistent. I feel like this year I haven't been as consistent with my reading because of how hectic things have gotten, and I'm busy like recording content, posting videos, work is getting crazy, you know. So I would like to help a media log to help me keep consistent and be more keen on reading, because it used to affect me a lot when I wouldn't read it for a day and I would get really pissy. A media log in a week would be really nice, because also if my goal is to read like a Don Mai or a novel book in 1 week, it would be nice to see all the notes on one page and see like the actual storyline in the summary on one page and have a good idea of the book's contents in one place. Because I feel like there's, when you have it like this, and I do take very detailed notes when I had this book because I had the space for it, but now that my notes are less, I would like to see like a good summary of the book when I go back to review it. And I'm like, so what happened in this book again? Because I kind of feel like I read like volume 1 to volume 5, and I'm like, what happened exactly in volume 3, right? So I do miss that kind of concept, because I go to this and I'm like, sometimes I look at it and my brain like just blanks out. I'm like, what happened? Probably get some print out pictures and put it in here. It'd be nice. Same thing, I have the calendex to do like logging overall. I have the months, and then back pages I probably put like stickers. I saw a person doing stickers in the back to record and do star rankings and stuff. I think it's really cute. That's what I have in mind for 2026. Again, A5 for main planner, maybe a school one in a weeks, a budget log in a weeks, a meal log in a weeks, and a media log in a weeks. But I'm gonna combine my school and my main planner, or put it into my main planner. And I might try to fit another thing in there. I think the only one that I definitely want to do separately are the budgets and the foods. Returning to the lineup, colors collection. Usually I don't really care about this because I want a print, I want a design, but this year the colors are actually pretty good. I'm not getting A5 or A6 cover, even though I like the greens and the teals and stuff. I think those are really nice. If I do get a colors, I'm most likely gonna get a week's. Either, I don't think we get a mega, but if I do, it'll probably be in the solid colors because it'll be a little bit cheaper, I believe. But my favorite colors initially was like the full moon yellow and then teak green. But then I saw like other pictures of the full moon yellow, especially in like the Hobonichi lineup video, full reveal. And it looked more like bright yellow. Not like neon, but like not as mustardy as I thought it was. Because I really thought it was mustard, and I thought it would pair really well with like the Daphonics, right, if you have that. But like, I think Daphonics is more mustardy, more mustard than the full moon, so kind of gave up on that. I think I will get the antique green if there's no other options. I just like a deep dark green. I also like the gold foiling, kind of giving that brass antique furniture look that the Hobonichi website is talking about, so that's definitely it. I do like the sky mist. I think it's really cute, and then strawberry milk, but those are colors that I usually gravitate towards. Green is really actually my favorite color. The next thing is the Moomin. Oh my god. Okay, hold on. I honestly thought Moomin was like a Chinese, Japanese thing, because you see that shit everywhere in Japan. There's literally, you go to like a drugstore, a normal drugstore, Moomin on shampoo bottles, Moomin on hand soap, Moomin towels, Moomin like shaped sponges. Like, they're obsessed with it over there. So that's why I always thought it was like an Asian thing, and then I found out it's from Finland, and I was like, oh, I would not know. That's crazy. But when I saw the Moomin, I was like, my bar is set high. This year is gonna be so good. And then it just like slowly like went downhill each day. But yeah, I think the Moomin collection is like, again, it has the full lineup of like stationery, stample, covers, the pencil boards. It has almost everything. Things I really wanted were the A5. It just, my friend knew. She saw it and she's like, that's what Viola's gonna want. She's gonna like that. And I do like it. I don't know what it is. It's like the black with like the light colors and the white. The scenery of it is so freaking cute. I really hate that the back side where the flap is all black. Like, they should have put the illustration on the actual front of the back piece and then have it black on the inside. Why would you waste a piece of fabric if we're just gonna have nothing on it? That's how I kind of feel. Like, even my friend agrees, like, that is stupid to like waste. You could just have no flap and just have a full image, in my opinion. But I do like the tassels. I have heard people say the tassels are gonna get dirty. They don't really feel like getting it because of that. I ain't really worried about it. I think it'll be fine. I think it's cute enough either way. I like the inside with like the firework and the blue. I think it's so freaking cool. It's the same thing, like I feel the same excitement with this as I did with the One Piece collection. I just think it's extremely adorable. I love this cover as much as I love my One Piece cover. So I don't need it obviously because I'm pretty satisfied with like my One Piece one and my Blue Wave from 2024. So if I wasn't gonna get any cover, I wouldn't be mad. But if I do want a cover, especially if they're gonna limit people from like, you can only get a cover with a techo, and I do get a A5 avec, I would get this cover most likely, just to like bang out your butt basically. And then the weeks I was very disappointed about, because how did we go from like previous week's collaborations to this, and I was very much like, oh, it's basic, it's cute, but it's basic. So I was like, okay. Same thing with like the red one. I thought it was okay, it's cute, and then my friend was like, yo, I'm obsessed with the red one. I'm like, which one? And she's like, this one. I was like, really? Because she knows nothing, obviously about nothing, and never seen this before. And I was like, what do you like about it? And she's like, I don't know, I just like the red. And I was in the fabric of it, and I was like, oh. And after you say that, the character reminds me a lot about you. So I actually do want her to really get this collection. I'm super excited for her. And then I don't care about the leather covers. The pencil boards are kind of hit or miss about. I think I will get the purple one because it would match like the other one that I'm thinking about. I don't think I would get a 5 pencil board. I don't know. I do like the green obviously, but I don't know. Something about it doesn't really resonate with me as much. But this is like the only few pencil boards they have that I actually would consider. Again, lack of pencil boards. These are the only options nowadays. Don't care about the graph paper. I do want the sticky notes. I'm a big sticky note fiend. I collect them. You saw my video last year. You know I collected like almost all of them. The rotating stamps. I have a lot of thoughts about these rotating stamps, but I'm trying to control myself and save that for like chronological order, right? These stamps are gonna kill me, guys. The clear stamps, I'm gonna say it, if I can get them, I will get them, because that rotating stamp is not worth it. I'm telling you this now. No. Cheeto, I don't need it. I'm fine. Ink absorbing paper, I don't have a... I do block my pages with my thing. I just use like a sticky note that I fold it and just like lay over and wipe it. Press it down to help move the excess ink. That's good enough for me. A separate piece of paper is kind of weird. I don't know. I don't need it. Stencil. I like stencils. I just don't like this one. I think it's cute. I'm sure I'm gonna look at it in some people's videos and be like, oh shit, that is really cute. I really do want that. But right now, I'm fine. I have other options of stencils that I want instead. Deco brush, don't care. Stampo, it's cute. I already have Stampo. I don't need it. I do like the red though. The red is very nice. So that's it for Moomin. I honestly could have skipped most of those and just talked about the ones I wanted. Going into One Piece, I have a lot of thoughts about One Piece. I'm about to hurt a lot of feelings right now. They hurt my feelings, to be honest. But it ain't that personal, right? So I'm being too dramatic. Let me calm down. I'm not getting the A6. Even though they have a lot of good illustrations, I'm very happy for them. They actually do a lot more this year. It does have Luffy on the front. They're actually doing something more with it. I was gonna put stickers into mine to help decorate it. I do wish the Luffy illustration was in black so that it really pops. So it kind of blends in with everything else. I think it would have been cool to keep going with like that black, red, and white theme and have it be more prominent like an actual manga panel. I don't like the covers this year. I feel like this was peak last year. I do like the black, like the red, black, and white theme. If you couldn't tell from my room, I love that color scheme. I think it's nice, but we're kind of reverting back to what it was before this collection, which I didn't hate. So that's not good enough to actually buy it, right? Especially in this economy and how much they are. Same thing with the leather ones. Like this scene, very significant, one of my favorites with his crew. I don't like that it doesn't have pockets. It's like a normal cover. That's not worth it to me. So I was instead hoping for like the Atelier covers, I think is what it's called. I forgot. But it's like the plastic ones that are super thin, and they had like really cool like manga panels. There was a yellow and the blue one. And I really wanted those to come back this year because they were, for one, cheaper, and they were really durable from what it sounds like. People were vouching for like this kind of design and how it was made and its quality, because people thought it was going to be really cheap because it's plastic. The reason why I didn't buy the ones from last year is because I didn't like those scenes specifically, and I knew that they usually come out with One Piece and they do switch their scenes around. I do like the horn / fabric design they have this year. At first, I shat on it because of the gray. I did like the gray, but now that you look at these pictures, it's more of a pinky hue to it, and then you actually look at the illustrations, you understand like what's really going on. And it's like Chopper with the cotton candy and the sakura trees and the snow and this freaking Santa Claus and Luffy with the flag. Like, it's a really good moment in the manga. It's a really emotional scene. One of my week's decisions. I have like, again, like 3 or 4 in mind right now. Maybe 5 actually. Definitely like on my list as top 2. Basically. Top 2, top 3. I wish the One Piece weeks had the One Piece quotes. Like, I don't understand why they don't do that after they have like day 6 is moved some to the weeks. But I guess it's more production. I get it, more SKUs. This stationery, I believe. Yep. A lot of thoughts on the rotating stamps. Save that for later. I do like the first aid kit stickers. I will buy those. I will buy the pirate flag index stickers. Those are really cute. Very good concept. I think that's all really they have for new stationery, right? Don't really care about the old guy sticky notes. I wish they were like a different color. They don't really stand out that well, to be honest. It's very different like color scheme wise this year. It's not as punchy as it were in past years where they had bright colors for everything. And then like, I don't really understand what the letterpress printed card is. Is it just supposed to be like a memo page? Is it supposed to be like some cards you give out? I really wish they had pencil boards again this year. Oh, and the One Piece, the Straw Hat Luffy red cover. At least they put the red, black, and white on this one. It actually really pops. I do like this week's, but I prefer the Chopper's like Cherry Blossom weeks more. If there wasn't any other weeks, I really wanted to stick with like a 2026 like dating system and not go back to like a 2025, 2024 like weeks. I might have considered this red Luffy one, but they have a decent weeks collection this year compared to everything else in this lineup. I think that's it for my thoughts on the One Piece collection. Just how they made some choices. Next day is the Kyohei Sakaguchi collection. I think everybody's talking about this. It's one that I predicted it was going to be popular. It's not as popular as I'm thinking, but there are definitely other ones that are popular. Actually, it's kind of a mixed bag. I think there's like some things that are like, I don't know. I feel like everyone like likes everything different this year compared to last year where we all had like our keen favorites like Purple Weeks and Paddington, right? Those were for sure it. The second I saw this week's in this cover, I was like sold. I love this pastel sky. I also thought it was photography, like the Denali airplane one we had from last year. I thought it was like that similar kind of vibe, but to find out it's like actually pastel illustrations is actually really cool. And I suck at using pastels, but I actually love the result of them, and his illustrations are amazing. Like I had wished the pencil boards out of his other illustrations, like the water ones are amazing. The ones with like the street lights and street lines are really amazing. There's so much opportunity. I'm really sad he did a small collection with his stuff. Hopefully he comes back next year because I would love to see more from this guy. He did, yeah, they were trying to do pencil boards, but for some reason they didn't actually do them. They were eventually dropped. Why? The pencil boards could have been so nice. I am considering the A5 cover just because of how cool it is. I feel like it's one of those things where like my manga and I, like that cover, I really do want that one. It's like one of my holy grails, and if I do ever come across it, I'm definitely going to get it. Same thing with this. I feel like it could be a holy grail as well, just because how serene it is and how calming it is. I would love to look at this every single day, I feel like. So if I can't get the movement, I will most likely get this one. For the weeks, definitely top 3. I'm definitely gonna get this one. I don't know what I'm gonna use it for yet. They kind of like don't give me a certain vibe in any which way. It's calming, it's gorgeous. I think the Moomin Purple Weeks would go really well with this cover because of the pinks and the purples. I'm excited for this collection. I really love it. Okay, don't care about Tamagotchi, don't care about mothers. The Apparels collection, the only thing I really like about this is like the red weeks with the, not the tulips, I don't like the tulips. I like the backside with the pink background and then it's like a red, what is it? It makes me think of like, what's the word? What are they called? Mistletoe. It makes me think of mistletoe. I like that. I wish that was in the front, the tulips are in the back. So I'm not gonna get this one just because of that. I don't care about the Yumi stuff. I do like the stamp idea. It's actually really pretty. I love stamps, but it's not for me. I try to teach you guys stuff because I feel like it's a trap. I'm gonna go out of control. I'm also just probably get tired of it over time. I feel like kind of same thing with like the Himitsu Stranger. Like you look at it and you think it's really cute, but over time you're like, I haven't actually used my Himitsu Stranger cover. I might end up selling that one. I don't care about 100% orange. I got a lot of shady things to say about that. I'm not gonna say them out loud. Not hurt people's feelings today, and also artists' feelings. Junji Ito. Oh my god. Okay. Junji Ito. I have not read any of his works. Surprisingly, people know me as like a very like. I read a lot of like darker media, more heavier topics like Berserk and Vinland Saga and like a bunch of seinen things. And so they're very surprised to know that I haven't read like any actual horror stuff, and it's just because like it never really interests me. I do like his art style. I've seen him everywhere. Obviously he's popular for a reason. Just never really had the time to get into it because I always want to read other stuff. I'm sure I would love his stuff if it actually did. But the second I saw those weeks, I knew for sure that I wanted it. Like number one, basically. Tops everything. It's too cool to not get. The second my friend saw it, she's like, yeah, I was gonna want that too. I don't know what it is, but I'm really into the black this year, I guess. I didn't like the A5 cover at first. It was kind of even though it's very similar to the One Piece one, right? I don't know if it's because like it doesn't have the borders, so it doesn't actually look like manga panels. It's kind of like a mishmash collage you can easily do on Canva, honestly. But after I gave it some time, I was like, okay, I've grown to love it. I think it's pretty cool. I can get into it. I wouldn't get it, but I've grown to like it. Don't really care about the A5. I do like the shiny effects it has. They're really into that this year. Really interesting. I guess we're going back to that, like, you know, Y2K vibe, right? It's giving that. Scroll, scroll, scroll. Scroll, scroll, scroll. I do like the stars in the hair. Really cool. Pencil boards. Not really feeling them either, surprisingly. I don't know if it's because like it's too simple. I do like the A6 design because of the manga panels. Like that's my kind of vibe. Otherwise, not feeling it. Sticky notes, not really feeling it. Too simple. I do like the clear stamps. I want to get those if I can. They're just so cool. They will give really cool effects. And that's all they have for this collection. I have the One Piece clear stamps. I just love stamps, if you couldn't tell. Drawer pouches, don't care. I'm really disappointed about the Iyomi Okumi collection because she did really amazing with the A5 covers last year, and I do think this is pretty cool. It's just this kind of setup doesn't really resonate with me. Like I thought I would like the weeks, but it doesn't. I don't know. I wish it was like actually a fabric cover. I think it would actually really help. But the illustration of it is kind of eh. Same thing with like everything else. I feel like when you print them all like this, like the actual embroidery, it doesn't look as fun as like the clear files we had last year, right? Of hers. Like her actual illustrations are actually really cool. Limited edition and custom editions, basically weeks collections. I don't know anything about Doraemon, but I do like its more prehistoric caveman dinosaur theme. I really like the one from 2020 for 2025. I do like the one for 2026. I don't know what it is. It's quirky, it's funny. I like it. I don't think I'll go out of my way to buy it. The frog and the toad, I think that's gonna be really popular. I see it everywhere nowadays. I know it's like more of a nostalgia thing in America for it, so I won't be surprised if people try to get it imported into the US or do like group orders. I do like the weeks for the frogs and toad as well, but not gonna go on my way to buy it. It is the English edition for 3,300 yen. That's really cheap. That's crazy. I do like the pencil board. See, they have so much like good stuff that are like exclusive to Japan. The letter set is really cute. The frog and toad is like actually really cool. I wish they had done this as a collection you can get overall and not just like limited edition, custom edition. That kind of sucks to be in my opinion. I think these are these are a lot of exclusive edition. I do like the pink rabbit. I do like its stencils. I really want the stencil from 2025. I don't really care for the one for 2026. It's cute. I like the bird. I like the little guys. It's also like really expensive when people try to buy it and then resell it. Don't care about the ice cream. I know my friend does this with ice cream, but she didn't like that it was the black background. Don't care about the frog. Don't care about this brown little animal thing. I think the F1 stuff is usually pretty cool. I don't know. I don't understand like F1 stuff. This one's a cool illustration though. I like the blue. I like the vehicle. It's cool. Moving on with my thoughts. So I hung out with my friend Friday. I told her I was gonna go like to a coffee shop near her house, and I was like, if you want to hang out, let me know, I'll pick you up and go there together. And that morning I woke up and I saw that Just Scribble, who is actually the other option I was looking into for A5. There was a video on YouTube of a lady testing a bunch of alternatives to Hobonichi, and Just Scribble, like, I love the lineup that she showed in that video for 2025. The 2026 lineups will be a little bit different changes in like the pages and the layouts for each specific thing. Just Scribble posted like a link to Atlas Stationer's website, their store, because he posted all like the lineup stuff and their prices. And that morning I was laying in bed and I got like so shook I got out of bed to be productive because I was like, holy shit, it's gonna be $100, over $100. So like, it's This is before I knew that they were bundling the cover and the techo. So when I saw the $100 price, I'm like, these covers are $100, $115, $118. Like, that's insane. Like, I knew that they were marked up from last year. It'd be $40 in Japan, but it'd be 60 or 70 in the US. So that's why I tried to buy it from Hobonichi last year from Japan. But this year I was like, I'm definitely not getting covered then, because that's insane. I was so shook. And then it's unfortunate the sellers are selling them in bundles again. And I'm probably gonna not get the Kyohei Sakaguchi cover because of that. If I don't get a Hobonichi, I most likely will get a scribble just because it fits how I prefer. It kind of combines the Hobonichi of Vex, the cousin design and layout, with how I do like my bullet journaling for 2024. So I'm getting towards just scribble. It's cheaper than Hobonichi when you buy just the Vex or like the half years and stuff. It's like $65 compared to Hobonichi is like I think $69. But when you do like taxes and shipping and stuff, just scribble just has you pay shipping, I believe, and it is $10 to ship, so it's like $75. But then when you pay taxes for Hobonichi at my local store, it's like $73. So really, like, I would rather spend $2 more with just scribble and like get something more what I would want format wise, and just get Hobonichi and have it like, obviously like the accessibility factor is there, like having it in person and getting it and going straight home with it is nice. But I obviously like formatting and how I actually use the planner is more useful, and actually fulfill my needs is better, and it also has a lot more content I would use. So going back to the whole school and main planner thing, I can put my school stuff in like specific layouts, and I have more room on each page because there's no like quotes and stuff, right? It could be way more simpler, and I prefer that. So that's why I'm gonna go with just scribble most likely. If I do find other options, I'll let you know. And to maximize everything, I'm most likely gonna do a separate video, maybe on Instagram, maybe on here. If you want to see it, let me know. I'm going to most likely either print out or write physically on a piece of paper, like I'm gonna use this layout for specifically this, and I'm actually gonna go through and label everything so I know exactly what I'm gonna do with each page to help maximize my planners, and hopefully I can narrow things down lineup wise, so maybe I can only get like 2 weeks in A5 and not like 3 weeks 3 weeks planners. That's what I'm thinking about planner wise for A5. So I most likely won't be getting a cover once I saw all this, especially price wise. I was like, no, that's expensive. So it's gonna suck. I really did like the Kyohei and the Moomin, but then when I was looking more at like Atlas Stationers and Yusaka's websites, I couldn't find Moomin, I couldn't find any Junji Ito stuff, and I was like, what's going on? Why? And I thought, like, I contacted my local stationery store and I asked her if she's gonna have Moomin or what collection she's not gonna have, and she just said Moomin and she didn't specify why. And I was like, okay, if she's not gonna have it, I was like at Yusaka or somewhere else. But then when they didn't have it, I was like, what's going on? So the next day, like Saturday, I looked up why Moomin and why Junji Ito were not with the partner stores in America, and it's because Japan has like a licensing thing with them where they can't sell like anywhere else in the world. It's only in Japan, so basically it's a Japan exclusive. And I was like, especially when you knew these collections were gonna be popular, like Moomin clearly brought up a lot of hype, and then Junji Ito, like even if people don't like it, some people really like the week's cover, did like a couple of things from there. So I was like, that sucks. And it could be a thing where maybe they figure out the licensing thing and they bring it out for they bring it out for October, and that would be really nice. And if my local store does have it in stock by then, I will most likely purchase it. I'm gonna have to ask her what's going on with that and what she thinks. So cross fingers on that, because again, my friend really wants the Moomin Red weeks, and I want the Black Junji Ito weeks. So that would be really good for us if we could not have to do a small group order just for those 2 weeks. And it's only like, weeks are super cheap, that's why I don't mind getting them from like Hobonichi, not from Hobonichi, but like I don't mind getting the Hobonichi brand of weeks from my local stationery store because they're a little bit cheaper compared to everything else and convenient. She was telling me like it is like $28 on Hobonichi's website, and they're like $34, $38 on like our local partner stores most likely in the US. Which, yes, it sucks to pay $10 more, but you're obviously gonna pay a lot more with shipping and import fees and duties. So I think $10 are worth it. I would rather pick out other options Honestly, instead of like having to get the black one, it does suck. I really like the black Hobonichi one, the black Junji Ito one, but I would much rather like get something else. And as we were looking at it together, like lineup wise and prices, I did not know about this horsewoman, and I grew to love it as we were talking about it. I was like, oh shit, this horsewoman is actually really cute. And I was like, we're both Year of the Horse in terms of Chinese zodiac, and she was like, I might use it as like a workout thing because, you know, like horsepower and stuff. And I was like, I'm fucked up. I'm like, eat the horse as like food. I don't know what my brain was doing, but I was also, and then I was like, you know what, you can also be like as hungry as a horse if you use a media log, right? So I'm just being silly with her about that. It's a little morbid, but my brain just went to that for some reason. But yeah, we're just looking at prices, discussing what our lineup would be, what our options are, where we're gonna buy from, and we're hoping that we don't have to buy from Hobonichi. I don't really want to. And then we were looking at like this stationery from the videos and stuff to get a better understanding of the products. And she's obsessed with the rotating stamps. I was obviously obsessed, as you can tell, with the rotating stamps. So we looked at the prices on Hobonichi because those I don't know if my local store is going to have the One Piece rotating stamp, because that One Piece usually comes in without any issues with licensing. But the Moomin one, obviously we can't get that one, so mostly we have to get the One Piece one, and my friend doesn't mind, even though she doesn't know what One Piece really is. We were looking at the prices on the Hobonichi because no one really has the One Piece stuff on their website yet. I don't know if it's because the rotating stamp is so fucking expensive, because on Hobonichi in USD they're selling for $52 for a stamp. For the rubber stamps it's only $12 each one, and I was like, $50, $52 for a stamp for what? And we both want a stamp? $104? That's not even shipping or tax and everything else. I was like, oh girl, no. And I want to be curious, so I went to switch to Japanese yen, and Japanese yen, when you convert it to the most current exchange rates, it's only 40 bucks. And I'm like, still, to have that much for a stamp is crazy. But to jack it up to $52 in USD is so fucking shady. I don't know if that's including taxes. I don't know if that's including duties. But like, you might as well include it. Because like, what the fuck is that shit? I'm so fucking mad. And like, it's ridiculous to get mad over a stamp. But I'm mad at the principle of they jacked up the price so much. And I'm like, I look at the other prices for normal rotating stamps. And it's like $10, $8, $20 maybe. But for 40 bucks... is insane. Even if it's like a customized to the collection One Piece Moomin whatever, that makes me mad. It makes me so mad. I'm sorry, but I'm crashing out because that's so bad. As for what my friend and I will end up doing is most likely and hopefully ordering most of our stuff from our local partner store, which will be most of the weeks, I believe. And I'm pretty stuck on buying from Just Scribble. Their pre-orders, I think, end around September 15th. I think I'm gonna wait off and make sure I label everything, plan everything, how I'm gonna have everything set up. See if any more content comes out about the layout and the quality of it and the printing of it, just to make sure it's exactly what I'm expecting and hoping for. I don't know if she's gonna group order with me from Just Scribble, because she sounded like she was interested in it. She was gonna look into other options. Our local stationery stores can have a bunch of other options, like I think Jubun Techo I think is gonna come in. Take a note to come into our store. It's a bunch of like new stuff. Maybe I'll keep you guys updated on that, whatever happens. I think that's everything I have to say for this video. I know it was pretty heated towards like the middle/end. Probably when I watch this back, I might end up not posting it and just scrap this entire video. Maybe redo it. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. I know there's a lot of feelings going on, and I haven't really seen too much, again, scathing takes on Hobonichi right now. I think we're all being too nice. And I get that we're like the planner community and you wouldn't think there's any drama, but I think there's times where like you gotta take a stand against like corporations that are kind of slipping, I feel like. But maybe it's just me. If there are other videos that have like really scathing reviews, I would like to see them, to be honest. But yeah, I digress. I'm gonna go now. Thank you so much for watching. Follow my Instagram because that's where I only usually post nowadays. And I'm hoping to do my basically part 2 video of my Japan trip series thing. I did go to Japan. It was great. I do want to do a video like basically finish up my experience with Nihon, and that's overall my experience with Japan. I'm hoping to do that video. I know it's gonna be a very long overdue video because I came back at the beginning of April, and now it's like almost the end of August. So I'm super late on it. I haven't recorded it yet, but I do have all my notes and my feelings on that. I just need to like record and actually get it out there. So maybe look forward to that soon, but I won't keep any promises. I have a few ideas of like how I want to do like that kind of video. But yeah, goodbye.